have more people joining on later, but for now, I think we can just kind of chill. So the first thing that we wanted to do was just introduce ourselves and tell you a little fact about us. So, hi, I'm Erin Kramer. I am the Junior District Governor of Indiana South. And a fun fact about me is that I'm a figure skater.
Oh, wow. I am a patient, and I'm the district secretary. And one fun parakeets.
Oh,
I just got them. Yes, I just got them. They're adorable.
Hi, I'm Lydia. I'm the Zone 2 Lieutenant Governor. I know my screen name says Meredith, but I have to use my mom's computer. But a fun fact about me is I love dogs, especially German Shepherds.
Hi, I'm Bree Anderson, and I'm a Lieutenant Governor. A fun fact about me, I'm in my backyard with my dog staring at me. I guess that's fun. Yeah.
You also have 5 dogs.
Yeah.
That's a fun fact.
okay. I guess I'll go next. Hi, I'm Kylie Anderson. I'm just a member of the Optimist Club. And a fun fact about me, as you can see, my Hogwarts house is Slytherin. So that's pretty cool.
And Bailey, what about you?
Hi, I'm Bailey Ecker. I'm the Zone 6 Lieutenant Governor. And a fun fact about me is I'm a big theater nerd.
Okay, so that's just a little bit about who we are. We also have Lauren Ewing, who is our, I think, Zone 3, if I remember correctly. Yes, Zone 3. I think she's having tech issues or something because she's not here right now, but we'll have her introduce herself later if she manages to get on. So the next thing that we wanted to go over was just a quick little icebreaker because none of us really know each other, you know. And our icebreaker that we came up with is, if I were an animal, what would I be? And if you want to tell us a little bit about why you would be that animal, you can. You don't have to. But personally, I would be a pigeon because because I think flying just sounds super duper cool, and I love big cities, and I want people to feed me. So that's me. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I actually want to be a red panda. You know those red raccoon ones? They're so fluffy and cute.
Cute. My mom's iPad.
Okay. Let's go next. Yep.
So if I was an animal, I would either become my dog because I want to know what she's thinking about during the day, or I would become a butterfly because I think they're so pretty, but I would skip the whole caterpillar part. I would not do that. I would just be a butterfly.
If I were an animal, I would probably be a lion, just because I feel like they have such a big role in the African environment. I think they're really cool.
My keystone species.
Alright. If I was an animal, this is gonna sound basic, but I'd be a dog because I like to be loyal and I like to see the good in everyone. And dogs are very friendly, so.
Every time I've gone for a walk with you, you've always had to stop and pet one. So.
Yeah. I love dogs. It's like an obsession, but it's okay.
Breezy, what about you? If you were an animal.
If I was an hang on.
Putting you on the spot.
I'd probably be a cat because I want to sleep.
How did I know? How did I just know?
Because this is me, and I have 3 of them.
Okay, do any of our adults want to share?
I'm with Bree. I would be a cat because I have 11 of them, and I'm fostering 5. I'm fostering 5 more sick ones right now.
Wait, do you have a shelter, or is it
You could call my house a shelter, yeah.
Because my aunt like fosters kittens, and she has like a little cat haven. So the goal isn't like adoption; it's just like a haven, basically. So she is like 20 plus.
I foster them until they're healthy and well and can go to homes, and then we try to find homes for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And by the way, if you hear anything in the background, that's my mom and her friend because they're just being loud, even though I told them not to. So, oh well.
I was
Oh
saying
well.
about a puppy.
And if you see a shadow behind me, it's one of my cats. They can't figure out where the voices are coming from.
Oh, so cute.
Well, I think I would be an eagle. I just think they're just really cool to look at. I have different eagle pictures in my house and some small figurines. And later today, I'm going on a scenic boat tour down to Madison, Indiana on the Ohio River, and we're supposed to hopefully see some eagles today.
Oh, wow.
So I think it's a very majestic bird. I think they're cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've taken like forever to think of mine. I think I would be a parrot and probably like a scarlet macaw, like a macaw or something, because they're pretty smart and they're cool, but they're also like really picky about, like, they get set in routines, and that's what I do a lot of the time. Like, I don't like breaking routines very often. So yeah, I'd probably be a scarlet macaw, and I'd get to scream a lot.
I mean, same.
What about you, Mr. Condon?
I guess if I had to be an animal, I'd probably be a tiger. That was the nickname that was given to me as a kid, and I've just always enjoyed how majestic they are. I remember going out to Las Vegas once and seeing the Siegfried and Roy, and I could never believe how big, how massive they are, and their paws are huge.
Mm-hmm. Julie, I don't think you've shared yet.
So sorry, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Julia, and I'm the Junior Optimist International President for this year. So that's why I'm here. That's why you don't. But if I was an animal, I'd probably be a monkey, because I think they're just super like fun loving, and like I like to like rock climb in countries and stuff, especially with my fingers. So I love doing that. And again, I just think they're like fun. So and I've always liked monkeys. So yeah.
Do any of our other adults want to share?
You see Charlie's here, but I don't know that his video's working.
He's also muted.
He is. Charlie, can you hear us, Charlie Schladen?
You can type in the chat. He might have also just like started cooking dinner or something, just been like, it's cool.
That's possible.
Unmute. I got that part on.
Hey, there you go, Charlie.
Start video.
Good
Hey,
to see you.
technology.
Yeah, technology, amazing.
Yes, it is.
So if you were an animal, what would you be?
Maybe a condor,
Oh, what's a condor? Is that like a
soaring high.
A bird.
it's a
Yes.
bird? Okay.
A bird.
I was gonna say cat, but
Yeah.
your cat's I don't know. Okay. Jeff, did you share?
All right, let me be very truthful. I'd be a big old grizzly bear because number one, I'm a big guy. I love to eat, and I don't mind taking a 6-month nap. I'm all good with naps.
Okay.
Jeff, that's a great answer.
True.
I appreciate that. I can fully appreciate that. Carlos, you just joined, but I need you to tell me, if you were an animal, what would you be?
He needs to unmute.
Yeah, you do need to unmute.
I know, I was thinking, hold up.
Give some
I don't know.
I need an answer. Like, this is an essential question.
I guess a bear.
A bear.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Now is going to be the part that I'm putting myself on the spot. We're going to do a quick governor address. So if you all hate my voice, I'm sorry. You're going to hear me talk for the next like 2.5 minutes. But yeah, I kind of came up with a little something like to talk to you guys about. So and then after I speak, we're going to have the lovely Miss Bev give us a little spiel about just whatever she wants to talk about. So here goes. My fellow optimists, we've all gone through hardships in life, and I think I speak for everyone when I say that the events of this year certainly have not helped. However, the toughest times also tend to have the most essential silver linings. The coronavirus pandemic showed us how strong and resilient humans can be and allowed us to look within ourselves. Personally, I have become more comfortable with myself than I've ever wanted to be during the past several months, and after the state quarantine mandates made me feel more isolated than ever. But this did give me the opportunity to take up new hobbies, pursue goals and interests, and most importantly, reflect. Being optimistic, even during the difficult times, is likely one of the most difficult things for a human to do. Still, being able to expect the rainbow during a thunderstorm is something that no textbook could ever prepare us for, and we instead have to learn through life experience. I often found myself wondering if I was a good example to the people around me and the members of my organization, as I found myself falling into a pit of depression from a lack of social contact. Taking myself out of that hole was not easy, and I won't pretend like I figured it all out, because I don't. I simply made a conscious decision to look forward to the future and focus on the good of now. We've been able to spend time with our families and with ourselves. This importance shouldn't be underestimated. We've also been granted a rare opportunity to understand how much our loved ones mean to us and really treasure our time with them. This past year has been a huge learning curve for myself and for the lieutenant governors, and it has certainly been a bumpy curve. However, I am thankful for every single one of those kinks in the road because it strengthened my resolve to remain a happy person no matter what is going on around me and truly press on to the greater achievements of the future. To everyone present, thank you for coming to our convention, and we hope you enjoy.
Very good.
Yay.
Yes. Okay, I guess it's my turn now, Erin. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
First, I want to welcome everyone to this Indiana South District Junior Convention. I appreciate all of you taking the time to join us in this virtual get-together. It's not the convention we had planned, but we will make the best of it because we are optimists. My thing for this year as governor is grow your passion. And it's not just because I'm a master gardener. I truly believe that we can grow passion in the children and help them to have a better future. For me, it has always been about helping the kids to be the best they can be. And when I can help them to find their passion, I'm able to open up the world for them. It's a reason for them to get up in the morning. It's a reason for them to do everything they do to help make their world a better place. And I think that's all important, that you need to have a vision. Everybody needs to have a vision. We all have a passion deep inside of us, and I have always felt it's my job as an optimist to grow that passion. I have asked all members of my clubs in the Indiana South to look around at their friends, their neighbors, their communities, and look for optimistic opportunities. And to me, those are anything that you can do to help someone in your neighborhood, a friend. There's always something small that we can do to make this a better place. What is needed? Yeah, you want to look at what is needed in your community. What does your neighborhood need? You know, it can be as simple as picking up litter, or you might have an elderly neighbor whose flower bed is full of weeds, and you could help weed it. Anything that positive will not only affect them, but will also affect you as well. Let me see. I had to write this out. I'm not like Erin. It's not off the top of my head. So I want to emphasize to all of you that you are the next generation of optimists who will be tackling the future, all of the future challenges that are going to be coming. I have every confidence that you will succeed. I'm very proud and honored to be here today with you, and I look forward to many years of seeing you all grow your passions. By the way, I do expect all of you to follow in my footsteps, to be a club president, to be lieutenant governor, and to be a governor. Again, thank you for this opportunity.
And next, I would like to announce our lovely Junior Optimist International President. Her term ends in October, but she has been absolutely amazing this year, persevering through all the COVID stuff, chugging bottles of Advil right before the convention, and just overall being a wonderful, cheerful little monkey that we all love. I can't wait to work with you next year on the International Board of Directors. You're going to be our past president and also a college student, I think, right?
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, she's got a lot on her plate, but we're excited for her, and hopefully there won't be too many more bottles of Advil in your future. But, yeah, Julia, go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Erin. And I'm so excited to work with you as well. So sorry, I just woke up like half an hour ago. My voice still hasn't tuned to the day. That's just what we're dealing with today. It's okay. But for those of you who don't know, I introduced myself earlier. My name is Julia Cooper, and I'm the Junior Optimist International President for the 2019-2020 year. So like Erin says, my term does end in October. But happily, it's not October yet, so I am still president. I still get to do all these amazing calls. This is probably my favorite part of the job. As busy as it is and trying to manage all the calls around everything else in my life, it's probably my favorite thing to be able to actually see the faces of everyone that I get to lead and I get to kind of take charge with. And I get to see all the faces of everyone who's just making a difference in their community. I find it so amazing how differently optimism can spread in different communities, like Bev said there. But we're all towards the same goal of helping everyone else in our community, which I just find amazing. And it's what I've really tried to strive for this year and every year that I've been involved. So I've been involved for about 7 years now, which I'm going to be like, a has-been, which is like super upsetting, but like, that's for another call. But this has been my favorite part of the job, is just getting to see all of you amazing faces and getting to see how much you guys have ahead of you in terms of optimism and spreading optimism. I'd like to say Erin is a firecracker. This girl is nonstop. If you've had to work with her at least a little bit this year, you know what I'm saying is completely 100% true. She is amazing. I don't know how she does everything that she does. I remember about a year ago, it was at convention, and it was the first time meeting her, and she goes, "Hey, I want to restart my district." And I'm like, "You're crazy. That is a lot of work." And she did it, and it was, text between classes, and it was, "Hey, like, can I get this contact?" Or, "Hey, like, can you this, can you that?" And I'm like, "You are amazing. I love you." And she has been one of my favorite governors to work with all year, because she's just gone above and beyond what her mandate requires. And again, if you know her, that is not any different from how she lives her life usually. She always strives for the best, and I'm just so proud to finally be on this call. I've been looking forward to this for so long. Again, I've been hearing about the Indiana South District. We're bringing it this year. We're bigger and better than ever, and I've been so excited, and I'm just so blessed to be on this call and to be able to see all of you amazing faces. Now, Erin is not the only amazing person in this district. Anyone that's on this call, anyone that's been involved in the past year in restarting this district, you are just as amazing as Erin is. Actually, maybe a little more, because you have to deal with Erin, but that's But you all have taken on such a big task, and just being a lieutenant governor or secretary or even a club member of a normal district takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort, and takes a lot of perseverance and initiative. And you guys are just taking that one step above and beyond and rebuilding your district and really showing Indiana South what optimism's all about. And you guys really are the pillars of your community. COVID, like Erin said, has not given us an easy, workaround this year. President Adrian Alcock, the international adult president, his theme was Imagine, and I don't think any of us could have imagined this. But I think all of our clubs and all of you amazing individuals have worked so well with it and have never stopped carrying that optimist flame and that optimist torch throughout these past few months. And I really hope you guys don't stop carrying that as long as you guys are optimists. And even outside of optimism, if you guys have to take a break, I get it, but don't stop carrying that optimist flag with you. We have a creed and it's behind Jeff there. He has that up, and that's something that I live by every day. And if I have a bad day at work or a bad day at school, it happens. And optimism isn't about being the best at all times. It's about getting through the rough points with your optimism. And I think that's something that's a really strong pillar of our organization, is just moving through those tough times as seamlessly as possible, even though it may seem a little bit hard at times. So again, I'd just like to say congratulations to you all. You all have done above and beyond what I thought you guys would possibly accomplish this year. Like I said, building a district is no small feat. And you guys have done an amazing job, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for Indiana South. I'd be more than happy to come on any future calls, anything like that. I am going to be a college university student, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop making time for all of you lovely faces. I love you all so much, and you guys are really the biggest part of my life. It's going to be really hard to, pass that torch on. But I am still here for you. Erin can pass on my email or my number, and I'll be happy to text with each and every one of you, whoever may be governor or lieutenant governor next year. I've been lieutenant governor, I've been club president, I've been district governor, I've been all this crazy stuff. So I definitely have some, pearls of wisdom if you want to listen to them. Or if you just need to talk and say, hey, I'm having a rough day, I'm here for that too. I want to make sure that I say that to everyone that I go on calls with, because it is really hard being at the top. It's not like a club or a district position where you get to see everyone's faces all the time. It's a lot of email chains and just names, and I want to make sure that I've made that shift with this year, where it's not just names, it's names and faces, and that I get to know every person that I can possibly know in this time. So again, thank you guys so much for having me on, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the convention holds for you guys.
Thank you so much for coming, Julia. This is the girl that I have been assaulting with text messages and emails all year. So yeah, she is a rock star. And I don't know if you have to jump off the call or not, but just in case, can we go ahead and take a group photo? Just real quick. I wanna just pose. You can do whatever you want. Hold on. Okay. I'm not very technologically savvy, so I'm just gonna hold on. All right. Okay. I will be sending this in an email later, but yeah, sorry if the photo quality is not that great. I have an Android. Sorry to the Apple lovers, but yeah. Thank you so much for coming, Julia. Are you going to be joining us for the rest of the meeting, or do you have to hop off?
No, I'm good for the rest of the meeting.
All right. So the next segment of our convention is probably going to be my favorite. It's the project sharing, and I delegated way too much time for this on the agenda. I think it's 37 minutes or something. So likely we are going to end a little early, and that is a-okay. But I would like to go around and ask you guys some of the things that your clubs have done I can go ahead and start. My club has this huge event every year. We do a trunk or treat. We have like 400 plus participants. We've only done it 2 years so far. I don't know if we'll be able to do it this year, but it's always been super duper successful. Last year, after the first year turnout that was like huge and everyone ran out of candy, we expanded it this year. And so we had a bunch of backup candy for whenever people ran out. And then we also had like, I think 10 more cars than we did the year before. And then we also had like a face painting station and we had like ring toss and like all these other things and a costume contest, a decorating contest. So it's really just a super great time. And the way we advertised for that was by putting up signs, especially around like the neighborhood where our clubhouse is, because we are like super duper lucky and we have a clubhouse in our area. And so we just put up some signs at the entrances of the neighborhood and then also at a couple of the apartment complexes. And we made a Facebook group, and somehow both years it got picked up by like a parenting Facebook group or something. So that's how we got like so many people coming. Last year was kind of funny because the start time on the signs and the start time on the Facebook group were like 2 different things. So we had people just like, we had 2 waves and it was hectic and crazy, but it was still super amazing. I don't think I ever got like a specific count for how many people actually showed up, but it was a lot. And yeah, it's our biggest event of the year. It would be our biggest fundraiser of the year if we remember to put up the little donation box before like 30 minutes before it was going to end, but we still got like a lot of donations within that short span of time. So that's the project that I wanted to share. Like that's the one that's like closest to my heart. I know me and Aubrey last year definitely lost a lot of sleep over it. But yeah, does anyone else have something they would like to share?
My favorite project that our club does is one that we kind of do like all year round, and we've been continuing it. I think it started the year before I came to the high school, so it's been a project we've been doing for a long time, but it's a really easy one. We collect bottle caps. So we have us bringing them in, and then we have like stations in the cafeteria where you can leave bottle caps, and then once we get a certain amount, we sort them all, and we have like 3 like huge trash bags that we have to sort through of bottle caps, and then we send them off to a place that makes a bench. So like we have like benches from our junior optimists like at our high school, and then as the project continues we can donate them places or move them other places. But it's a really cool project, and it's one that doesn't have a time limit.
I'd like to interject. Meredith, you might want, or not Meredith, that's your mother's name. We do the same thing, and we had our caps ready to go. 14 45-gallon bags we were taking down to Evansville, and their building burned down about 2 weeks ago. But she contacted me, Barb called me and said that they had enough in inventory. They were going to be able to fill our order. So we are going to be going down next week and picking up we had 5 benches ordered. So, but they are rebuilding, so they'll be there for you when you bring your caps.
Yes.
One of my favorite things that my group did is this year I went into my freshman year of high school. So last year I was in the middle school, and we don't really do a formal dance for the middle school because it's still kind of transitioning, I guess. So what we did is we did a Christmas themed dance, and it was a formal, and all the girls dressed up and all the guys wore ties or whatever. And we raised money for CASA, which is the Chords and Kids in Court Advocates, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cool that we took something that could be fun for the kids and helped donate to Kids in Court.
Yeah. That's great.
Kylie, what was your favorite project that we did this year?
Who were you asking, Aaron?
I said Kylie.
Oh, what? I'm awake. I would probably say I really liked the trunk or treat, like Aaron said. It was really fun, especially since last year actual Halloween got ruined because the weather was terrible.
It really was.
We couldn't actually do anything. But then I was able to get, like, I'm in National Honor Society, so I was able to get work hours in, and I got to dress up and hang out. I got to eat some candy and everything. So that's a really fun event, and it definitely was my favorite. And I also did sort of enjoy the animal shelter help out as well. That was pretty cool.
They weren't there, so can you tell us a little bit about what that was?
So basically what we did is we helped out at an animal shelter, and we helped clean up around and everything to make sure it looked all nice. And we took a couple of the dogs out and walked them and let them play around and everything. So they wouldn't just be like, cooped up inside all day long. And yeah, just some volunteer work.
Mm-hmm. Didn't one of them like tackle me?
Yes.
Yeah. I just making sure like I'm not misremembering that. Yeah, I was like leaning over and one of them just like.
Please tell me someone has like a picture of that or something. Like,
yeah,
we did not get a picture of that. Thank
man.
God. That was a mess.
Oh wait, I thought of a third one.
Okay.
The suicide prevention walk was also something we enjoyed. Now, only me and Aubrey went to that on that day, and while it was freezing, I still had a good time, and I just thought it was a good thing to participate in because I've lost someone in my family to suicide, and it's just a really good thing for people to participate in if they have someone in their family like I did, or they have a friend and they want to, help out and make their voices be heard, because it is preventable and it's a very serious thing that millions of people do every single day worldwide. So we need to be more aware of how to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. And then Julia, I know you live in Canada, so things are a little different, but what are some of the things that you all do?
Yeah, so I forget who said it. Bailey, I think, said it. So Christmas is our biggest time of the year in terms of projects. So my club usually teams up with our adult club and does a big breakfast with Santa, which is where we bring Santa, we bring Mrs. Claus in, and we do a nice big breakfast, and we sell out tickets in this big room. I don't know how else to explain it. And then we serve them like their breakfast, and we have pancake sausages, we have cereal, we have all this stuff, and then we have this past couple years we've had a few local art vendors come in and do an arts and crafts station for the kids, and so we have a passport for them to go around and get stickers from each station. So there's a raffle, there's a cookie station, there's a take a picture with Santa. So instead of going to a mall or something, they can actually take a picture and give Santa their list there, which is just really fun. And then again, usually we'll get some local vendors. So last year we also had a camping one or something where it was they raffled off a camping package trip thing, which was really cool. So yeah, that's always our biggest kind of money maker. It's always my favorite. I have lots of pictures of me in elf ears, and I have little tattoos on the side of my face of pine cones and snowflakes and stuff. But it's always my favorite one. My favorite one, what we do. I'm trying to think of another one that we do. Oh, and then we do weekly dances at that same building. Bi-weekly dances. So we have kids come in, and then we have a concession stand, and depending if it's a really famous holiday, so if it's Halloween, we'll do like a costume contest, or if it's Valentine's Day, we'll sell roses, and then it's so cute to see like the little kids like give roses to their crushes. Oh, it makes my heart melt. But yeah, that's like one of my other favorite things that we do. Yeah, so those are my favorite things. But all of your ideas sound really cool, and I'm definitely gonna bring them back to our like clubs over here too.
Absolutely. The point of this is to like share some ideas, maybe for like new fundraisers, new service ideas, and things like that. Do any of our adults want to share something that they've seen seen our clubs do, or seen like other clubs do, or just like an idea off the top of their head, just out of your imagination?
Well, Aaron, the first thing that comes to my mind is the fact that on International Optimist Day, which is early February, we start selling, as you know, we start selling carnations. And we will sell, 600 carnations between the 1st and the 14th. And we sell them for, I think we pay 50 cents for them, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
A piece,
And then we
we,
sell it
yeah. So it's easy. We don't have to give change. We do it at school only. And we normally get sold out ahead of time. So that's an excellent fundraiser for us. But then as a service project, you know, I've always enjoyed the New Hope dances. New Hope is an adult with mental disabilities, and they have dances for Halloween, for Christmas, and I think a graduation dance. And it is absolutely so fantastically rewarding to go and work with these people. It is, I think, you know, we should pay them for the opportunity to do that. But that's something I've always enjoyed that we've done.
Mm-hmm. We've done a lot of help with like Moose Lodge and that kind of thing. We used to do like little gift baskets, packages, and such for like those families that couldn't afford to eat and that kind of thing. So sort of like a soup kitchen type thing, but a little different just for like these specific families that are like applied with the Moose Lodge. I don't know, but yeah, we've always helped. They have like this huge stash of like clothes and donations in the attic, and they used to have it because it was just an absolute mess. It was this huge explosion of like clothes, and it took them forever to organize. So we helped out with that a little bit. And yeah. And then like Mr. Condon said, we do have like that carnation sale. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year. And the next one after that is the trunk or treat. Last year we ran into a bit of an issue where the pipeline at our school burst, so we weren't able to go to school on Valentine's Day. Like literally a sewer line burst because I think like a tree root or something got into it, and so they had to like dig up the entire lawn, take out this huge like 100-year-old tree. It was ridiculous. And then I actually came to the school the day of Valentine's Day. Part of optimism is perseverance, okay? So I need to share the story in its entirety. I was freaking out because we still had like 300 of 600 carnations left. And so I was like, okay, it's Valentine's Day. Let's go pick them up and go sell them at some businesses. So I go to the school, and little did we know that the pipe that burst was right in the hallway where Mr. Condon's room was, where the carnations were being stored. And
God.
I walk into the school with someone from the front office. She's walking me down, and then we come upon the main hallway, and there's just a puddle. And then we keep walking. It's bigger, and bigger. It reeks. Okay, have any of you ever walked by like an apartment trash bin? Like those giant trash bins that they keep in apartment complexes? Where
Yeah.
it was that plus dead skunk. Okay, that's what it smelled like. I'm not exaggerating here. It was bad. And so I'm over here holding my nose, trying not to throw up. And then we look, and Mr. Condon's hallway is the only hallway besides the main hallway that is flooded. And persevere, but not that much, okay? Like, let's just be clear there. And it was also like really, really cold. So like water was going out into the parking lot. And so you could see like water 100 yards, 100 meters away from the school. And it was frozen. Frozen sewer water in the parking lot. It was terrible. And so we make it back to school on Monday. The stench is still there, not as bad, but still there. Yeah. And so obviously Valentine's Day has already passed. The day where we would have made our biggest sales had already passed. So from Monday through Wednesday, we managed to get our volunteers to stick with us for another couple days to sell during lunch. And we lowered the price to 75 cents. And then on the last day, we lowered it to 50 cents. So there was no profit whatsoever. We were just getting rid of them. But I definitely think that was a good story on perseverance and the power of optimism. Okay.
Aaron, it absolutely is. It is a great example. It was a great example of how you showed leadership on that, because I remember telling you, you were emailing me and I was telling you not to worry about it, but you really came through on that.
Oh my God. And this was like when Mr. Conlon was out on surgery and stuff. So I was like handling the front office ladies on my own, and I get an email from the school. I think it was like, because we were also out of school the Friday before we started selling for some reason. I think it was like a snow day or an e-learning day or something. E-learning is like our online school days. So I got an email from them, and they were like, so we just got several hundred flowers in the mail. And I was like, I'll pick them up on Monday. And they were like, okay, we put them in the fridge. So, there's thing number 2. I thought they accidentally put them in the freezer instead of the fridge. I was about a freak, because you know that would not have been good for the flowers. Yeah, and also we couldn't get into the school because we didn't have like our sponsor present in the school, so we had to come in like an hour before school started. Steven was there, he can tell you. But yeah, we had to come into the school like an hour before school started and like cut the ends of the carnations so they could take up water, put them in the buckets, store them. I was a huge control freak. I apologize for that. I don't think I ever said that. You know how Julia was like on me earlier for like, you guys are amazing for having to deal with her? This is a perfect example of why she is correct. Mm-hmm. Just saying. I had to go to class. A couple of other, like, we had some super seniors that were staying because they didn't have to go to class just yet. And yeah, they took care of everything. They were super rock stars, Steven included. And yeah, I was stressed out that week. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know I just went on a whole rant, but I feel like I could write a whole essay about this, you know, like, screw regular college essays. I'm going to write about this. Yeah. If anyone else has a funny story they would like to share so I'm not alone in my mischief, I guess. Yeah.
I have a short one. So it was on Valentine's Day as well. I was at home. So while Aaron was at school doing that, the washing machine broke, sort of. And so, like, my mom and dad spent, like, a whole few hours on Valentine's Day trying to fix the washing machine. And so they had to take it out from against the wall, like, because we have two, if you've been to my house, we have 2 doors where you open them up and there's a washer and dryer. So they had to move it out and, like, work on it. And so my brother and I, we had got goodie bags from them Valentine's Day. So we're just, like, taking our candy and just, like, sneaking around and being like, okay, you have fun figuring this out on your own. And out in the basement, like, we ain't helping with that. So, yeah. That was fun, I guess.
I feel that. Like 2 seconds before I had to get on this call, my mom was like, Erin, do the dishes, take out the trash, clean the floor. And I was like, Mother? No.
Why did that happen? Every time I'm like going on a call, my parents need like 5 things to be done at once, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm sorry. Like,
And then you can't tell your parents no. You know, like that's just not a thing you can do. That's not an option. It's like A is yes, B is yes, C is no, and you gonna die. So,
unless you're my brother, he tells my mom and dad no all the time, but then he usually gets screamed at. I don't know what gave him the confidence to tell them no. It's probably because he's just a 13-year-old boy and he's annoying right now, but he has said some things and kind of gotten away with it. I would have never gotten away with any of that when I was his age.
I remember you when you were in middle school. You were like you were like a good kid, you know. Caleb's got a
Is
little
she
bit of a
not
mischievous
now?
side. Caleb's got a little bit of a mischievous side. You were a good kid.
Thank you. All I remember is how cringy I was in middle school. That's it.
It's okay though. All of us were.
Everybody is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Back on topic.
Oh.
I know I was the one that totally spiraled that out of control, but anyone else have like project ideas? Miss Dawson, I don't know how long you've been a sponsor for, but do you have like anything that would be interesting?
Yeah, so just introduce myself. I'm Katie Dossett. I am the sponsor at Heritage Hills Middle School. So we actually have a junior optimist club at the middle school and at the high school. So I'm at the middle school. So Bailey was my 8th grader last year, and now she's a freshman. But she talked about our Casa dance we do. I really try to focus our group on using things that are really local so that we can impact our local students and things like that. So our Casa dance is a big one. The other one that we do is really big is we have teamed with our local, it's kind of like a food bank, but they also do like clothing, like you said, things like that. So we actually teamed up as a district. In the middle school, one of the things we're in charge of is around Thanksgiving, they give out baskets to people that are food insecure or need supplies. And so we actually, as Optimists, are in charge of running what we call the paper goods drive. So it's paper goods, shampoo, dishwashing detergent, things like that they might need. And so we collect them. It's kind of a contest at the school with each of the first period classes, and we're responsible for sorting it all and counting it all. And then I take it over there to donate. So I really like that one. And I think that's probably, we do lots of other little ones. The other one I think is fun is we live next to Santa Claus, Indiana. So we have Holiday World and all Christmas themed things. And a couple, not this past year, but the year before, in the past couple years, we have helped little kids write letters to Santa at the post office. So that's kind of a couple other fun ones we do. So.
Oh my God, I love that. And I'm sorry if I completely botch your last name. Is it Mr. Trellis? Trellis. Okay. I believe you're the next adult Indiana South District Governor, correct?
Yes. Yes, I am.
So in all of your years of optimism, what has been your favorite community service project?
Well, it's actually a fundraiser. And it's kind of a community service project all built into one. Mm-hmm. Our club does the Avenue of Flags. So 5 holidays during the year, we put up over 400 flags in the community that I live in here in Santa Claus. And you see a whole street lined with flags on a 10-foot pole in everybody's front yard. Oh, there's not too many fundraisers that people really want to give you their money for. You know, if you're selling candy bars, they say, okay, I'll take a candy bar, and then they give it to somebody. But I've had little old ladies chase me down the street saying, hey, how do I get one of those? How do I get one of those flags? So it's a big fundraiser for our club, and it's good for the community, and it gets our name out there in front of the community. So it's kind of a win-win for our club. And the good thing is, even with the COVID thing this year,
it didn't slow things down. There's a lot of clubs that had problems. As you know, fundraisers went belly up because festivals and everything went belly up. So that's the biggie for me. I've been involved in that since early 2000s.
And where are you from?
I'm currently in Santa Claus, Indiana.
Okay. Yeah. That's really cool. Now, another part of this is also like coming up with ideas on our own. Like, what do you think would be cool to do that you haven't necessarily done, but you would like to? Personally, at one point, I think it was my freshman year, we hosted a muffins with moms / donuts with dads, because we used to do that a lot in elementary school, and I thought it was amazing and super fun. It didn't exactly go like the way we wanted it to, because we had to host it at like 6:30 in the morning or something, which no one wants to do. We wanted a weekend, but because like it was the first year doing it and we couldn't like guarantee the attendance of some people, it was like smaller than we wanted, and you know, all that other stuff. And then because it took like so much planning and all this time, and there was so much going on my sophomore year, I wasn't able to do it my sophomore or junior year. But that's something that I would really like to bring back. But it was an idea that I came up with because we did it in elementary school, and I thought it was super amazing and fun. We hadn't done it since then. So does anyone else have something like that, or just something fun in general? I know Aubrey would probably come up with something dog related. I think we used to do like dog washes and things like that.
Well, we wanted to, but remember the paper that would free us from responsibility was a sticking point with the schools. It was a pet wash.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We didn't want anyone like getting hurt and then suing the school, so.
Well, something with my club, this year I actually got the chance to be one of the advisors, or like a co-advisor, I guess, for one of our younger clubs in our area. And so it's really cool to see what they come up with versus like our high school club, because they're just a lot more focused. Well, they're just focused on different things in general than the high school students are. And so they were very pet and animal focused. And so one of the ideas that we had to do just after COVID or just after the COVID thing started, I guess, they wanted to do a dog toy building meeting or whatever. So we were all going to bring in old t-shirts. This didn't happen, but we're looking at doing it next year. But we all bring in old t-shirts or old towels or whatever. And then there's like a whole bunch of YouTube tutorials on just how to tie them and braid them. And then we were going to donate them to a local animal shelter and stuff like that. So it's a really cheap and fun meeting idea, and it gets you a club project due. Yeah, so that was something that we hopefully will be doing next year.
Yeah, we I think we actually, it's like the braided dog and cat toys, right? Yeah, we actually did that our first meeting of the year, I think, was we like ripped up a bunch of old t-shirts during an officer meeting, and then we made them. We had to teach a bunch of the boys how to braid, which was fun. Yeah, like after we had the boys in charge of like tying the knots, and then after we had all those done, we just had to bite on the bullet and teach them how to braid. And I have to say, I retried. I had to retie quite a few, but you know, they've got the first step towards being fathers, you know.
If I could just play off maybe something I heard, I think it was maybe Julia that mentioned you have a Christmas theme dance. Was that you, Julia?
I think that was Bailey.
Bailey? I'm sorry, I messed that up. Just kind of playing off that idea. I know many times at schools you have a spirit week and a dress up days. Maybe around Christmas, what about doing an ugly sweater contest?
Yes.
You know, that might be kind of fun for teachers as well as students to get involved with, and offer a first, second, and third prize award. Have a big group picture, whoever participated in it. Be kind of fun. just kind of playing off some of the ideas I'm hearing and some crazy things that happen around school. I know on Halloween, they have anyone who dresses up, whether it's teachers or students, dresses up on Halloween. The way in which you get the ability to do that is you have to bring 3 food items or canned goods for the local cheer fund. The cheer fund has been going on over 108 years in Decatur County, and the whole community comes together. Thousand has to be thousands of pounds of food are raised throughout the community. Our Junior Optimist Club these past 3 years has been the promoter of the canned food drive at the high school. This past year, we raised 2,000 food items, or the equivalency of that in money. And we said every dollar is worth 2 canned goods. So we would accept either a cash donation, a check, or food items. If they gave us a check made out to the cheer fund, that had to be donated directly to the cheer fund. If it was cash, we went out and bought canned good or food items that we thought would be beneficial to the people in the community. This fed over 300 families, maybe 600 to 700 people. You know, you can do it for a local food bank if you don't have something like we do. Our incentive to the school was if we reach our goal, the Junior Optimist Club would provide an ice cream treat to everyone in the building at lunch. And we did that in the spring. So we have reached our goal the past 3 years. And so we would buy like fudge bars. We had to make sure it was a properly approved item on the list according to the standards of the school. We work with our person that orders all the food in the cafeteria. And then we as Junior Optimists, we would stand at all the cash registers, at all the lunches, and just simply hold out a fudge bar and simply ask, do you want one? Surprisingly, not everyone wanted one, and they were free. So we did have extra, but you know, it was a great thing. Got the community involved, the school involved, and the reward was just simply, you know, we're gonna provide everybody with an ice cream treat. Teachers, students, everybody got an ice cream treat if they wanted one. So we're going to try to do that again. It kicks off on Halloween, where the faculty and the kids can dress up if they bring in food items. And then the last day of collection is usually the second week of December. And then everything has to get shipped to one location, to where then what we do as a Junior Optimist Club is we have to then help sort all the food into the proper boxes and then rearrange all the boxes for proper delivery. Delivery goes out 7 a.m. on Christmas Eve morning. And it's a tremendous opportunity for the whole community to get together. So it's a big project that we've been part of that goes quite a bit. And also we ring bells to help raise cash donations, just like the Salvation Army would ring bells at different stations in the community. We take an hour shift, and I think last year we raised about $150 during our hour at our location. So, you know, just a few items that you can think about, you could possibly do in your community for the needy, whether it's the homeless or food bank or whatever. Make it your own. That's just what we do.
That's like a really cool way to go about it, like the way you all made the incentive. Now, you all have like an interesting way of getting funding, don't you? You have like a lot of money just in your account already from previous years, right?
We do. And that has been, well, this will be our 20th anniversary as a Junior Optimist Club. And over the years, when we have been asked to provide services to those who needed help, they in turn would make a donation to our club. We help the Kiwanis Club with a pancake breakfast. They make a donation. We have helped my club over the years with some things, and they would make a donation. The elementary school, we have helped them out over the years with different activities, and they're PTO organization would make a donation. We have never asked for anything. If they wish to provide a donation to our organization, we're more than willing to take it, because we in turn help many other organizations throughout the community. This past year, we donated $150 to the Wreaths Across America program, and then helped lay these wreaths on the graves of our veterans at the cemetery. This is something that goes on throughout the country. It's a wonderful project. And so, you know, our club has gotten involved with that personally to raise or to donate the funds, as well as lay the wreaths and be part of the ceremony. We have a program called Farmers Feed His Flock, and that is for the local food bank here in the community. Provides 253 and Thursday of the week. I help with that project, and they try to raise thousands of dollars for this program. They have acreage donated to plant corn. Our club, our Junior Optimist Club, donated $340 to sponsor 1 acre of land. So whatever money we have in our account, we try to balance out what we can donate to needy causes. And at the same time, we have to watch that we don't exhaust our budget, because we can never assume we're going to get a donation for the things we do. So it's a balance, but that's how we've raised our money. We've never sold anything to keep in our budget or to keep in our treasury. Anything we have done 1 year, well, 2 years, we sold lollipops at lunch, and all the money raised went to Make-A-Wish program, because we had a request for 2 individuals in the local area that had a Make-A-Wish. So all the money we raised and the money we donated from our account went to those 2 individuals. So you can get very creative in what you do. I know that there's opportunities out there for each group to maybe raise funds and then turn around and provide someone with a need. And that's what we've tried to do.
That is super duper amazing. And one of the things that I wanted to do this year, but we weren't able to because we went out of school around March, is in April, there's this thing called like April showers or something. I think it's a holiday. I don't quite remember. I wrote it down like a year ago. But we were thinking about doing something related to that. So April showers, baby showers kind of thing. So we were thinking about doing like care packages for new mothers. Because right across the bridge from us in Louisville, Kentucky, we have, there's this place called St. Elizabeth's, where they take care of like expecting mothers or new mothers that don't have a home for whatever reason. Some of them had come out of abusive relationships. Some of them had like family circumstances, and just for whatever reason, they did not have a home to come back to. So they provide them with like a full-on house. There's a kitchen. It's really, really close to like a normal living environment, just until they can get back on their feet. They also help them, you know, take classes if they need to get a job, and just assist them in every way that they can. But we were thinking about, I was just thinking that like if we could make like baby shower gift packages and things like that, and maybe throw them like a little party or just donate them over there, that would be something really cool to do. And that's definitely something that I would want to do next year if we have the opportunity.
Aaron?
Yes, hi.
I've got a thing that might be an opportunity for you all. One of my friends is getting ready to start next week, I believe, at a new school. It's in Louisville, Kentucky, just across the river, at an alternative school, which is for students that are, if they don't make it there, it's probably going to be in jail. And he contacted 4 of his students the other day. All of them are gang members, and none of them live with their parents. So I'm just thinking that if we can find some way to have an early intervention. I just lent him the book about Ulysses Grant that Ron Chernow did. It's almost 1,000 pages. And there's a guy who overcame a lot of adversity in his life, and then later on became a general, winning general in the Civil War, and then later on the president. But he had plenty of adversity both before and after that. But he went forward. So I told him he might want to share that with some of his students too about overcoming adversity. So.
Yeah, those kind of communities are definitely ones that Optimist clubs could help if like we are able to open our doors to them. That would be something really amazing. Obviously, we would have to, have their support and then we might have to do a little bit of pushing to get something over there. But yeah, if you could get me in contact with your person,
sure.
Just send me an email later. Yeah.
Yeah, be glad
if I
to.
could step in for a second. I think it would be a really cool idea if like you had Aaron or whoever's going to be governor to carry that on. Maybe all your clubs do like a little video, like a clip it of a video, and you send it to the school, and then you can like show it at the school or however you guys are going to get in contact with them. And just like either like an It Gets Better video or like this is what we've been doing in our communities, and just showing that like how awesome of stuff like you guys are doing in your communities, and you guys are kids, and so you can kind of show them kind of leading through example. I just wouldn't want to see like junior Optimist kids come in contact with people like that. They may be okay, but especially like gang members and stuff, you just got to be careful. So I think that's the way I would go. Totally up to you guys, but that's just my 2 cents about it. And then if you guys get like really good connections, then maybe you guys can like maybe build a club with them or something. But that's where my mind automatically goes with that. I don't know if that helps or stuff.
No, it absolutely does. Thank you so much for the idea. If we end up pursuing this, I'll definitely be contacting you and the rest of the international, because like this is the type of thing that we need to like have some external help with. And yeah, I think that ends that segment. Oh my gosh, we're actually on time with the agenda. What? I totally did not expect this. Okay. So next on the agenda, hold on, I gotta pull it up, is going to be a quick little mock meeting. I'm gonna just pull this up. So this is just a mock meeting for the first meeting of the year. It's not like how a normal meeting would go, just because we're online and everything. But if any of you ever have to host a meeting in the future, I hope this gives you some ideas. A lot of people here are from my home club, so they've probably already seen this, or maybe not, but it's always good to have a little bit of a refresher. So I'm going to go ahead and start screen sharing. There we go. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So this will be a little bit awkward, but I'm going to treat this as if you all are like actually members. So welcome, new members. I'm from the JHS Optimist Club. My name is Erin Kramer. I'm the president this year. I hope you all enjoy this first meeting. So the first part of our meetings is usually just a meet your officers type thing. So we have our officers stand up, say their names, and maybe a fun fact about themselves. This isn't really a get to know you type thing or anything, but it is an opportunity to show the new members, especially the freshmen, the faces of people that they can talk to if they have any questions, comments, or concerns. And so yeah, and also like maybe an opportunity to know who to talk to after the meeting, exchange numbers, that kind of thing. And then it's the first meeting, so we try and show some images of things that we did in previous years. I don't exactly know where they were during this image. Mr. Condon, do you know?
That was.
Or Stephen, you're actually in this picture.
I do. Stephen was there. That's
That's
in the
such a
hidden
bad
picture. I'll let
picture,
Stephen tell you.
Yeah, Stephen, what was this?
This was the which walk was the
Angelman's Walk.
Yeah, Angelman's Walk.
And Mr. Condon, you would probably be the best person to tell us about what that is.
Well, the Angelman syndrome was named for Henry Angelman, who was a British doctor that discovered a missing DNA. And these children are born, it's my grandson, and these children are born without their, I think it's their 15th DNA. 15th and chromosome. Yeah, their 15th chromosome. And so they're called, their nickname is Happy, what is it, Joanna?
Happy puppets.
Happy puppets, but they have motions like cerebral palsy kids. But it was really a great time. And that was one of those days, Stephen, you'll remember it was raining that day and they had to have it inside. But it was really tremendous. They had all sorts of free giveaways and free food, a disc jockey, and it was something where we must have had 20 kids there. And I was so impressed with our show up, our turnout.
Wow.
So yeah, we just show like pictures of things that we'd done. This one, we were doing some yard work in front of the clubhouse. Yeah, they do like the big yard project every, I think, Labor Day or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they just, to make it all look nice and tidy, because if they don't do that, it'll kind of get overgrown and everything. So we were just helping out the adults with that. And I didn't get a group picture on this one, which I was really disappointed about, but I think this one was from the Animal Protection Association. We had people from the Animal Protection Association come in. They brought in 2 little cats, which we were able to take some time and pet them while they told us about what they do. And we brought in some donations, some like food, toys, cleaning supplies, etc., so on. And then actually later
that one was the dog one. Remember, we did a dog one at the first of the year, at the first of the school year, and then we did cats in January. But this one was the dog one.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we also had, what was the foundation called? It was for a specific breed.
Yeah. Bev, you know that group. What is that group? The Cat Rescue.
Alley Cat Advocates?
I think it was. It's the one that take them and spay them and neuter them. Yeah.
Alley Cat Advocates.
Okay. We've done a lot of stuff with like animals. We helped the Animal Protection Association run their little store that they have in downtown Jeff. We volunteered our time there, and then we've also done a lot of like drives for things like this. And then this one was from the New Hope dance that we were talking about earlier. Special needs adults. We had like a little Halloween dance for them. We mostly just worked the food table, and we might have like danced with them a little bit, and helped judge like the costume contest. It was just a really great time. And then this is what we were talking about earlier with the carnations. This was not last year. This is actually the year before. We got in on a weekend, and we, ooh, that's my dog. We got in on a weekend. We cut the carnations. We also tied like our little, what is it called? No, hold on.
We have a little business card that says "Be Different," and we do that. And then on the back of it, they can write to or from or whatever they want.
Right. I don't think I have any on me right now, but I have a big box of them somewhere. I don't remember where they are, but they're really cool. Julia, you might have seen them last year at the convention. I did hand out a couple. And then there's this one. Excuse my face, first off. Sorry, 1 second. I'm gonna say this right now. I am only wearing like half of my outfit, you know, so I've got some shirts on right now. Don't judge me.
While Aaron's getting that straight, I think that was a picture that we had. We were meeting with our local state representative. Aaron, weren't we meeting with Dr. The woman that was our state rep?
Rita Fleming?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rita Fleming. Isn't that where we were?
Yes, this was at the Fetter building, and it was a meeting hosted by the League of Women Voters. So we met with members of the school board along with a couple of state representatives. It was it was a little tense that day. Oh, Bella. Okay. It was a little tense that day because there were a lot of teachers there that were asking school board members questions about like funding. I know I asked a question about standardized testing, and yeah, it was not the most relaxed environment, but it was definitely a good learning experience.
Well, I remember they had great food.
Yes.
that's a cat.
Oh my God, they had like this amazing place cater for them. Oh my God.
Sorry. My cat is getting in the way.
You see my dog right now? Okay. So next, what is Optimist Club? And I'm going to have a couple of our lieutenant governors share a little bit. But to me, Optimist Club is really just friends of youth. We do everything that we can in order to make the future a little bit of a brighter place. You know, we're realists. You know, a lot of people think optimists just see the sunshine and rainbows and everything and completely deny the reality, but that really isn't true. We are honestly the best kinds of realists because we see the reality that things can be terrible. You know, there's starvation in the world. There are people that are dying out on the streets, either because of gang violence, maybe like police violence. There's a lot of stuff going on. Heck, we're in a pandemic right now. You know, we see that, but the thing about optimism is you also see beyond that. Because so many people just stay in this little bubble of negativity and never really realize how much good there still is in the world and all the good that can come out of these terrible things. So to me, that is what optimism is. We have a little bit of an unofficial slogan at my club, which I'm going to censor because it is not PG, but life can be crappy. Let's make it last. I said it almost every meeting, and yes, I did use potty language. Yeah, that was the censored version. But that was our unofficial slogan because I think next to the creed, that gives the best rundown of what we stand for. You know, and would anyone else like to share what it is to them?
Mr. Novak touched on this a little when you asked him how our club kind of funds itself. But to me, like Optimist Club is all about service. Because our club, all we do is volunteer, and then when we make money, it's donated. Like, it's not a club where you're like in for yourself, or a club where you're just trying to be in charge. Like, it's truly a club about serving your community and making it a better place.
Mm-hmm. And now she wants. Would anyone else?
I think for me, an Optimist Club or just Optimist, Optimist International, anything like that, is making your community a better place, but as well learning more about yourself. Like, I feel like I've learned more about myself and who I am in Junior Optimist International than I have in anything else that I've been a part of in my life. So I think it's also about, personal growth and, learning about yourself. So yeah.
Absolutely. Would anyone else like to share?
Well, what Optimist Club means to me, it really it takes a lot of self-development to care about others, and that's really what Optimist Club does for you. Like, you acknowledge that there's bad things going on, and you find it so easy to be selfless for the needs of other people because that's what your community needs. So it's just really good even when nothing else is.
Anyone else? No? Okay. So also at the first meeting, I did a little promo for the international because the last year I was my first year as president, so it was also the year that I just came back from the Louisville International Convention, which was so much fun. And it's important to remember in our local clubs that we are a part of something bigger. It's not just us, it is an international organization. I mean, just in that photo right there, I see people from like different places in Canada. I think there's like Toronto, Quebec, Ottawa. I see someone from the state of Iowa, Kansas. I'm from Indiana. There were some people that were there from Florida, Texas, you know, and I think some of them are like in Oregon right now. It's very widespread. It's an international organization. We even just started a club in Sri Lanka, I think, and it's bigger than us, you know. And last year was our centennial, so and apparently we were actually founded in Louisville, Kentucky, which I didn't even know until last year. But it's super amazing that something so huge was founded really close to where I live. And so that definitely had a little bit of an effect on me. And, you know, the in-person meetings are so much fun. I cannot express that enough. If you've ever gone to an international convention, you know what I'm talking about. The adult ones less so than the junior ones because we're like so much more fun. But yeah, even the virtual one this year was super amazing as well. I can't wait for next year. I think next year is in Atlanta, Georgia, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be in person at that time. And if you all have the opportunity to come with us and go there with us, it's going to be an amazing opportunity. You're not going to regret it. And then we use an app called Remind. So it's an app on the Play Store, the Apple Store, etc., so on. Don't join this code right now, obviously, but you just text the numbers 81010, so 81010, and then to that number you text a specific code that is individual to each of the groups. And so we ended up having like between 35 and 40 people join after the first 2 meetings. And so that's how it was a really easy way to communicate with everyone without it getting bogged up in other messages and that sort of thing. I know some people like to use GroupMe, and it's really individual to each president, but I liked to use Remind, so it was easier to organize my communications. And then this slideshow was from our first meeting. We don't really do icebreakers every single day because they get a little awkward and bothersome after a while. But for the first meeting, I think it's really important to have one. And so during our first meeting last year, I brought in a bunch of coins that were dated from the year 2004 to 2000, I think it was 19 at the time. And so we just passed those around, and whatever date you had on that coin, you told us something big that happened that year. So say you got 2004, that might have been the year that some of our freshmen were born. That's pretty big. Or if you got 2016, that might have been the year you got like a new dog or something. So you feel free to steal that. That was actually last year's international president's idea. His name was Cole, super amazing. He's going to NYU now. And then Julie was talking about this earlier, but this is the first project that we did of the year, the braided dog toys. And during our officer meeting the week before we had our actual meeting, we brought in a bunch of old t-shirts, we ripped them up, and then we tied them off at the meeting and taught some of the boys how to braid. And later on, I brought them to the JB Ogle Animal Shelter, which is the local animal shelter in our community. And they were super thankful to have them. I think we made, I want to say like, God, it was a lot. It was like 50 something dog toys and cat toys.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're probably all torn up and in the trash by now, but it was definitely a good temporary thing for them. And I have pictures if anyone wants to see them later. I don't have them in this slide because we hadn't done it yet. But the way that our club functions is by doing a service project every other meeting. So we only have meetings once a month because we have to compete with a million bajillion other clubs in our school. So we only have them once a month so that we have like a higher priority, and we try and make the meetings really worthwhile by having these service projects going on during the meetings. And we do that every other meeting, and then every other week that we don't have an actual project at our meeting, we might have something going on outside of the school community. And so we do that so that if you can't make it to the meeting, say you have to go to sports practice or something, there's always something for you. Something that's special about us as a club is we didn't have any requirements. You didn't have to go to our meetings. If you had your agenda, you were good. And you didn't have to go to the stuff that was, say, on a Saturday. We were very flexible, just the way that we did things. And I think that was a big part of how we had such high participation this past year. And then obviously at the end of the meeting, we cite the creed. The creed is the perfect way to really see how far you've come as an organization, because I remember the first meeting of the year last year, we stated the creed and it just sounded like a big jumble. Everyone was in a different stanza and no one was together, and it was just really awkward and terrible. But by the end of the year, we had kind of perfected it. We were all in sync, and our cult-like chant was, we had it pretty down pat. And so that showed really well how we had come along by getting to know each other and just coming together as a school community, as a school club, and together in optimism. Now, I'm not going to make you all do this right now because it will sound terrible. We did it when we rehearsed this, we did it during our Lieutenant Governor meeting. It didn't go well. So read it, love it, live it, read it in your head though. So yeah, just side note. And yeah, that is the end of my meeting. I hope you all enjoyed. At this point, we would start doing our little service project, and getting to know each other and that kind of thing. And then I'm gonna look what's next on our agenda. Yes. Okay. Oh my God, we're still right on schedule. What? Sorry. I'm just like so proud right now. So the next thing on the agenda is going over the responsibilities of each office. So give me a minute while I pull this up. My computer's loading. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna start screen sharing again. Okay. The role of a leader in your club. The leaders of your club are the ones that keep you together like a glue. Nothing would be able to get done if you didn't have people directing, if you didn't have people organizing, making sure that things are where they're supposed to be. So the leaders of the club are an essential part of the organization, no matter what organization, not just Optimist Club. But I wanted to give a little bit of an in-depth view about each position. So the first one is obviously the president, which is the boss man or the boss lady. They are the person that is in charge of making sure everyone is where they're supposed to be. They might come up with ideas. They're the person who brings people together and brings out their strengths. A president and a leader is not someone who does everything by themselves, as some people often think, but they are the person that knows what their members' strengths are and helps them use them to the best of their abilities for the organization. That is what a leader is. They are not the person that does all the work. They are the person that helps others do the work. And so that's something that a lot of people misconstrue, and so I really want to drive that home. And then next is the vice president. I use a Hamilton reference on this one because who doesn't love Hamilton? And Hamilton was Washington's right-hand man. And obviously the vice president can also be a woman, but this is the person that helps out the president in whatever they do. So, for example, if the president is sick or can't make a meeting, they're the person that is in charge after in charge of the meeting, in charge of taking over the role that they leave behind. The vice president is also kind of the nitty-gritty. They are in charge of, you know, if you need to get in touch with a teacher or to get permission about something, you need to get in touch with an organization. This is the person that's in charge of doing that. They assist the president in any way that they can, and usually that's by being kind of like a co-director. Their job is less about the in-person with the other members, and it's more about making sure that everything is aligned and that it'll work out. And the next one is the secretary-treasurer, which I call the overseer. If you don't know Oran Academy Host Club, you should watch it. It's really good. It's an anime. That's where that image comes from. Anyway. I seriously think this is the next important job. And I'm not just saying that because I have been a secretary-treasurer of another organization for 2 years, but this is the person that makes sure that you stay on task. They make the agendas, they take the attendance, they are in charge of your finances. Personally, from my own experience, and I think Japay could probably tell you the same, the secretary and treasurer is the person that is in charge of slapping some cheeks whenever people get on task, because it's happened more than once, at least in my personal experience, where we'll have like a million bajillion things left on the agenda and everyone is getting off task talking about what they're going to have for dinner that night. And so you just kind of have to be that person that's like, get on task. So that is this person's job. Nothing would work without the secretary treasurer, because we would be lost in an abyss of ideas. Like, I think I talked about this. I think we decided on this. I don't quite remember. So this is the person that is in charge of making sure that we're organized, because it's an organization. We need to be a little bit organized. And we know that no one else is going to do it, so that's this person's job. A lot of people are the secretary-treasurer before they become president because it's the background of the organization. You know, this is the secret leader, the hidden boss, I like to say, because they are the person that is in the background making sure everything is running. They're not in the front lines like the president and the vice president are, but they are the ones that make sure that everything is able to happen. And it's a little bit of a tougher job in comparison to a lot of the other positions, at least I think so, because of like the responsibilities of the job. But it definitely gives future leaders the opportunity to understand the background of how their organization works, so that they can be a better leader in the future. And so next is the historian, which I like to call the detective, because they are the person that is always taking pictures of the events. They're writing down things that happened. They might make a scrapbook. They might enter like a photo contest or something. This is the person that likes to document everything that you do, which is super important, as you saw from the slideshow earlier, for future meetings, to recruit members later, and also just kind of have those memories to look back onto. Because a lot of the times we might not have photos of our best memories, and you think you're going to remember them, but you won't. You know, unless you have like a superpower of amazing memory, a lot of the times we forget our best memories, not just in our young lives, but also just in our lives in general, because we don't have anything to remember them by. So that is what the historian is for. And then the last member is going to be the member at large. This person is the spokesman for the members in general. Their responsibilities are less so in comparison to a lot of the other members. However, their job is just as important because they are the ones that make sure that us as the leaders of the organization know that we are speaking and we are using the values of our members to the best of our abilities to make sure that they feel that there's value and there's motivation in what they are doing. So they're a regular member. Usually it's going to be a big extrovert who has a lot of friends, and they are the person that lets us know, hey, we're not really interested in going for yet another thing at the animal shelter. We would really like to do angel treat or something like that. And the reason that this position is so important is because there's often, we don't realize it, but there's a disconnect a little bit between the leadership and the members. And we try and not have that as much as possible, but you know, it's inevitable. It really is. So that is why we need this person and why they are essential to really every club. Not every club has them, and I think they kind of fall behind because of that. So that is why we have our members at large. And then next on the agenda, I'll just go ahead and keep my screen share up. We have our little quiz, and this is from Julia, actually. Thank you so much for letting me use this. I think it's this one. Yes. Okay. So this is a little quiz to find out what type of leader you are. You might want to have a paper out for this, but you're going to just answer the questions to the best of your ability, and they are multiple choice. And by the end, you can kind of get an idea of what kind of leader are you. So, let's see, is it scrolling? Yes. Where do you find yourself leading the most? A sports team, B, a school or community club, or C, group projects? Let me know if you need more time, but if not, I'm going to go ahead and keep going. Question 2. Who do you look up to as a famous leader? Question 3. When you collaborate with others, how much trust do you have in others to complete the tasks assigned to them? Question 4. Which of the following traits best suit your leadership style? A, goal-oriented, determined, and confident. B, fair, creative, and engaging. C, laid back, comfortable, delegating, and cooperative. Question 5. On a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you of taking charge? 8 to 10, extremely confident. 5 to 7, fairly comfortable, or 1 to 4, not very comfortable? Question 6. Your club is asked to run a community project, and you have to oversee it all. What are your first steps in organizing your team? A. Give specific responsibilities to each team member and lay out your expectations. B. Have a group brainstorm session where all members have a chance to pick their task and give input. Or C. Have everyone start coming up with ideas on their own and at their own pace based on their own skill set or level. Question 7. You are in charge of running meetings for your club. How does that look? A. You have an organized agenda where you will promptly get through all of your goals for the meeting. Your meetings are always at the same place and time. B. You have a few things you aim to cover during the meeting. You spend most of your time having group discussions on these topics. Your meetings are usually at the same place, same time. However, you try to have some fun in the now. Or C. Your teammates are the ones who usually bring up any topics if there are any. You may only have meetings if necessary. When you do, always bring snacks.
I feel like we always bring snacks to just be connected to all of them.
We tried to have snacks at all of our meetings that we had actual projects going on, but that never happened.
Never worked out. Someone would
Never
always
worked out.
forget. Or...
Yeah, honestly, I think part of it was just I forgot, mostly. Okay, question 8. You see that one of your club members is having a bit of a rough time completing tasks. A. Give them a smaller task so they can meet your deadline on time. B. Talk to them and see if there's anything you can do to help them with. Or C. Leave them be, they will work it out. All right, question 9. My favorite thing about being a leader is A. Making the final decisions. B. Getting to work with so many different people. Or C. Learning my team members' strengths and delegating based on as such. Question 10.
It's the last question.
Yes, this is the last question. One thing I feel I need to work on as a leader is A. Be less confrontational. B. Be more decisive. Or C. Step out of my comfort zone. I might actually have to think on this one. Everyone give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Tell me if there are any questions that you want me to go back to. Okay, are you done? Okay. So your results. If you got mostly A's, then you're probably more of an authoritative leader. If you got mostly B's, you're more of a democratic leader. And if you got mostly C's, you are more of a laissez-faire leader. Now, let's break this down a little bit more. Authoritative leaders, they're extremely goal-oriented, driven, direct, confident, often seen in business or sports, but they do have a couple of drawbacks, and that's in micromanaging, being kind of high-strung, bossy, or overly confident. And I know that's something that I used to struggle with a lot, especially when I was a freshman. I was really uptight, and an authoritative leader is not necessarily a bad thing. I know it might have a negative connotation, but some groups need to have that type of leader, and especially like the big schools, they need to have someone that's willing to push, like give an extra push for a lot of the goals that they have, because otherwise nothing will end up getting done. And so it's not necessarily a bad thing. It really just depends on each club and each school. Every school, every club has its own personal, own special features that make certain types of leadership better than others. And that can change, and that is 100% okay. Now, democratic leaders are a little bit more relationship-based. They're often seen in politics. They try to be fair, engaging, and encouraging, but they might have some trouble being indecisive. They might take up a lot of time with their decision. They might overthink or try and be people pleasers. And these types of leaders, they're amazing with people. They're your best friends, basically. But at the same time, they have certain issues that they need to work through. You can't, in an organization, take up an entire month to think about just brainstorming an idea for something that you need to do in a week. But this is also the type of leader that is really good at making people engaged and having really good participation throughout your club. This type of person has a lot of trust in their fellow members. They're still leading the conversations, but they might have, it's a little bit more conversational than an authoritative leader. And again, that's fine. You might see this in a big school or a mid-sized school or even smaller schools. It just depends. Now, lastly is the laissez-faire leaders. They're creative, comfortable, delegating, easygoing, best used in groups with individuals that are at the same skill level. But they are often new to leadership. Some might say they're lazy. I don't really think that's a good word choice, but they might come off as so, or unorganized, maybe uncomfortable. And I think everyone starts out as a laissez-faire leader. Some of them stay that way if it works out for their group. It really just depends about where you are. If you're in a small school community, a laissez-faire leader might be the best way to go. But at the same time, if you're working with elementary schoolers, like Julia does sometimes, then you can't expect to have this same kind of intellectual discussion. So each of these types of leaders have their pros and their cons. All of them are amazing in their own ways, and all of them have things that they need to work on. I know when I first took this quiz during the international convention and when Julia was hosting it, I found myself answering honestly, like, I'm a B, but I want to be a C. And that's okay. I don't think any person is specifically just authoritative or just laissez-faire. It's honestly a mesh of everything, and each of us have our own individual goals. There were a couple when I took this quiz that I was like, I'm a little bit of an A, but I wish I could be a C, and that's something that I want to work on. So having the opportunity to reflect is also part of the battle. Would anyone like, hold on one sec. Yeah. And here's a really good quote by Jeremy Bravo. Great leaders don't set out to be leaders. They set out to make a difference. And that could not be more true. So that is all for the quiz. Yeah, Julie was the one that made it. Props to her. Would anyone like to share?
What?
Maybe about like what kind of leader you are. Maybe you think
Yes,
you
one thing I would take from this quiz is
Mhm.
you can be a combination of all of the above. When I looked at some of the questions, I'm going, well, I can't say I can answer a couple of them based on the answers given, but if I had to, I would have given them maybe the category. I look at myself as a leader of a combination of all of the above. Because I think you, first of all, have to be flexible when you deal with people. You have to listen to their input, their ideas. But the leader many times has to make the final decision, and it might be a tough decision. You might look at it as authoritative, but the buck has to stop with whoever's in charge. The main thing is you want to listen to everybody's viewpoint, and then you go from there. As a junior Optimist Club, I am the sponsor. I let the kids make the final decision to what we do. If they want to get involved with a certain activity, it's up to them. I can only be there as a guiding individual to let them know what we try to do and what we've done in the past. But at the same time, it's their choice. If I feel like maybe they're heading down a wrong path, or maybe our decision to donate too much money out of the bank account, I might pull them back a little bit and go, okay, now look at this. Look at where you're going and what precedent this is setting. So I might have to actually intervene and say, okay, are you really sure about this? But in the ultimate end, it's what did they want as a club? So I look at myself as a combination of all the above. I think a good leader, first of all, you have to be yourself. Don't try to be someone else that you're not. Conduct yourself with your personality, who you are, come across authentic and caring, and that you want to be a good leader for your organization. So keep all those things in mind. Don't try to create yourself into something you're not. There's always room for improvement. I've learned that my whole life. There's always room for improvement, but in the end is, who are you? Let the people see you as who you are. Be authentic.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. I couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. I know personally, I had a lot of B's and I also had a lot of A's. And I think part of that is because I come from a school with like 2,000, almost 3,000 students. And in those bigger organizations, you can't have as much open discussion as you might like to. I know that for us, we do have open deliberation, but that's more during like our officer meetings, or maybe during whatchamacallit, like in smaller groups after our meeting's already over, and just to like make sure that we have that connection between the leadership and the members. And I think that's okay for me on, I think it was kind of obvious for me which one was the thing that I wanted to improve on for a choice, and I chose choice C because literally every other problem I was just B's and A's, and then the very last one I wanted to improve on being C. Because I think that I am a little top heavy on some of my leadership skills. I do want to be a little bit more collaborative, and that's something I've been working on for a long time, and it's an ongoing process. But you know, it's just like Mr. Novak said, every single person is a combination of each and every one of these, and it's not about which one is right or wrong, it's about how you make it work. Does anyone else have something like that they would like to share? No? Okay. In that case, we will move on to the next thing in the agenda, which is my favorite part. I'm excited for this. This is the announcement of our district service project. It's already on the agenda, so you guys probably already know what it is, but we will be writing letters to healthcare workers because they have been rock stars throughout this time. They've had long hours, they have still been working with like the danger and the same pay at the same time, and you know, I know there's a lot of support going out to them right now, but even what they're getting is still not enough. So we are going to be writing some letters of encouragement and also letters of our thanks. And any images that you might have of while your club is writing them, maybe picture if you drew like something really cool on the cover. Just send all of those photos to me. My email is on the agenda. Actually, I'll go ahead and put this on the chat so everyone has it if you don't already. This is my personal email. I will send any photos that I received to Ms. Early so that she can put this into our district magazine if she so chooses. And yeah, it's going to be a really great thing to have, I think. And also it's just another thing to connect us because, you know, the goal of this year was to expand communication, and I think we've done a great job of that just by having this convention. So yes, we will be doing that, and let me know if you have any questions. You can email me or you can text me. If you don't have my phone number, you can probably contact any one of these people. Mr. Condon has my number, Mr. Novak, also Japay, Lydia, Bailey. You can just email me asking for my number. That's fine. Let me know if you have any questions, and be sure to come back to your clubs with this and have this happen at some point during the year, preferably before October when my term ends, so I can kind of see this through to the end. And I think we're to the end of our agenda. So I have yet another little thing a little spiel for you all. And yes, I did write this probably 2 minutes before starting this meeting, so it's a little rough around the edges, but I appreciate you all listening. So to everyone who came today, there is nothing I want to say more than thank you. Thank you for coming, and thank you for all you do. I hope that you can take at least something out of this experience and bring it back to your clubs. I look forward to seeing how all of you expand and improve this next year, and can't wait to see you all again at next year's district convention. Please do stay for a little while to talk, socialize, and get to know each other. After all, the intention of the district this year was to expand communication, so please help us in this endeavor. Once again, thank you and have a great rest of your day. Alrighty. So now is scheduled social time. If you don't want to be a part of this, that is fine. But if you would like to, I am going to be here until 12:30. So yeah, just a little coronavirus chat. I'm sure you guys have been on Zoom quite a lot.
Aaron, are you going to do the creed?
You can read it on your own. We're not
Okay.
going to say it here because
All right. Okay.
it's,
I know. You don't like that.
It would be a jumbled mess.
you know what I mean?
Aaron, before I'm probably going to have to get off here pretty soon myself, but I would like to thank Jeff Emsweller for being our host.
Yes.
I appreciate this, Jeff, taking time out of your day to help us with this.
Thank you,
Jeff is
Jeff.
a great member of our club and has hosted our Zoom meetings during the lockdown, and I appreciate your time here, Jeff. Also for Governor Bev and Governor-elect Bill for attending this first
Yes.
ever Joy
Thank you.
Convention. And to you, Aaron, you did a great job setting all this up. I know it took a lot of time. For the lieutenant governors, all of you who have been meeting online to make this happen, and for the things you do for your schools, continue the good work. You do make a difference, and you are the shining light. Make sure you continue to spread optimism every day, no matter what your situation is. To Rick and Katie for being sponsors of the Junior Optimist Club. We're planting seeds and we're trying to spread optimism to our young people. Whether they become an adult optimist, we hope they do, but whether they do or not, we're planting a seed of giving back to others and living optimism as a way of life. So your task sometimes might be great and sometimes maybe thankless, but believe me, you are definitely making a difference in young people. So I want you to continue to keep spreading the word of optimism, continue doing what you do. It's much appreciated. I am the immediate past governor of the Indiana South District and the Joy Chair for this next year. So please contact me if you have any questions, if you simply want to talk. I can get you my contact, or Aaron can, but let's have a great year. I pray that our schools will be open the entire year, that we can get back to some kind of normalcy. Even though we might have to wear masks all year, that's fine. As long as we be together in person is so important. We had our first Junior Optimist meeting last week, and we had 28 in attendance, which was down for a first meeting, but a lot of people didn't know about it, and it's on a different day than normal. But I hope you all have a great year and can do many of the projects that you've done in the past, and a lot of things that you've done, what you shared today. So keep up the good work. I'm glad this happened, and hope you all have a great rest of the weekend.
Thank you, Mr. Novak.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone.
Mr. Novak has been our rock star this year as well. He's been like a adult that's been there all year, helping me throughout everything, attending all of our meetings and keeping us on task. And yeah, definitely being that shining like beacon leading us to where we need to go. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. And the thing I miss about teaching is working with young people. So being able to continue to work with the Junior Optimist kids keeps me engaged in doing the things that we do. And as long as God willing, I'm able to do it and they let me do it, then I'm going to. So
we appreciate you. All right, now social time.
Yay.
So how y'all been?
Okay.
I don't know. I have work later today.